Hi guys, what's up? I hope everybody is doing good. So, as a follow up to my previous video, I hope I am on track in releasing the very first video for this season, which is about uh, preparation pattern that will help you in deciding what area should you focus when it comes to CA inter-auditing. The next video that will follow up will be the same activity for strategic management. Though there are only 5 chapters and you have to equally balance there, we still have some important tricks of trade that I can discuss with you. I am hoping that I can do something like this for CA final also soon. So those of you who heard the first 30 seconds, yeah, wait for it. Meanwhile, for now, for CA inter students, one of the complicated aspects for you is to read and retain so much of text content. I won't call it theory because if you really know what I say, audit is one of the most practical subjects, and today's questions that are coming in the exam prove that time and again. Also, another important thing, see, I am not somebody who says that what you see on screen should help you in scoring your effort and the way you write. So on that note, I would also want to announce I will be launching another video which is about the paper presentation. We will use the suggested answers of the past, some exam papers of the past, what people have done as mistakes. We will try to rectify that so that you don't end up making all of those. And I'm also going to make that for both the subjects at inter level, and also I'll try doing that for final as such. Okay, so now considering first of all what should be our understanding pattern here, a chapter wise weightage. Now the reason why I gave the names of the chapter is also because different people might be following different books, and it's not necessary that everybody sticks to doing the same thing. So go by the number and the chapter's name so that you know the weightage. Now, straight away, I will take everybody's attention to chapter number 7, because you can see there that's already been highlighted with an average weightage of 18 marks in the last 3 attempts. Now, mind you, this I have done only for the last 3 attempts is, of course, it's a 3 attempt moving trend. Plus, this is also the story of when it started after the curriculum changed to 3 attempts. There is one May 24, but MCQs of that haven't been that time released. And I think going by the last 3 attempts should still make sense. So 18 marks as an average in the last 3 attempts. Even if you go by that, you can still see that it is 16 in one attempt, 20 in another attempt, again 17. Undoubtedly, the content also is so much in that chapter that our audit evidence takes the main focus. Now, what is very important and what many people ruthlessly neglect is chapter number 10, which is audit of the various items of financial statements. Now, when we talk about items of financial statements, I have understanding of the practical problem that all of you face is the retention. So much content is there. How should we retain? We'll come to that 17 marks piece. But what I want you to actually concentrate from this analysis is, if you look at everything from chapters 1 to 9, chapters 1 to 9, that is from the nature, scope and objective of audit till audit reporting. Those of you who have been my students, you know how we take this journey of definition of audit to giving a final audit report, including CARO. I hope all of you are well aware our 8-step audit process, the way we do that in the class. And of course, those of you who are watching me for the first time, there is a marathon that I've uploaded a couple of attempts back, which is very valid even till today. Either I will make some amends to it and upload it again, or you can comfortably, as I do this video, I'm telling you that you can go back 2-3 videos, you will find audit marathon, which follows the flow of chapters 1 to 9, which has been very instrumental in helping many people get something close to 60 marks. Sir, are you saying only those chapters? If you do the marathon thoroughly, I'm, kind of telling you that we will probably cover about 80 marks on the syllabus, and we should be in a safe spot to get 45-50 out of that, considering your writing skills are also up to the mark, for which also I will be helping out. Now, many people neglect the first chapter because it's all basics. They think that they need not revise, but if you see, there's always a safe bit of 6 marks here. And the standard number 210, why I made a special mention of that is something of that, whether it is the terms of engagement or the preconditions, or what should you do in a recurring audit, or probably the mid piece of the content, something or the other has always been asked. And in that very chapter, we also have the ethics part where fundamental principles of ethics are there, and threats to independence, the self-review threat, self-interest threat, they have been featuring in the MCQs a lot. Recently, the last attempt, if you've seen, they gave one set of MCQs. I don't know why sometimes people called the previous attempts MCQs as tough, because in my understanding, the 8 marks came for something that we joke about in the class so much, from narrative record, checklist, questionnaire, and flowchart. You just have to identify that in 8 marks. Getting 8 out of 8 in audit in less than 2 minutes is something remarkable. So I want you to focus on each and every concept, though the chapters weightage range between 8, 9. See, 6 to 12 has been the weightage of all those chapters, 6 to 10 also. But when it comes to audit evidence, completion and review, and audit report, you can see the story spanned into double digits here, 18, 13, and 14, only from those chapters. Because the chapters are also so important, they also lay down in the audit. So now, what should be our preparation strategy considering this weightage? So I have done this before, but again, for a lot of you who are new, who have not heard this in class, let me break this down for you on how to do it easily. Always start with the basics. Don't jump straight away because 7th chapter is having a lot of importance. Don't jump there. I don't want shortcuts to be told for success, right? Let us go by the phased manner. For those of you who are new, you guys can take help of my marathon. That will be of a great help to you, as long as you are sticking to the marathon and its understanding. It should be great enough, right? So moving on that, let us see how to split this. I want to split the whole syllabus into 4 parts, right? Let me call this as my preparation strategy. And how do you break the preparation strategy? I want to keep the video short, so let me straight get into the major aspect of it. So first part, I've always given the weightage to the first set of 3 chapters. Now what are your first 3 chapters? The nature, scope, you can follow my numbering here. So I'll give you part 1 of your preparation, which will take a minimal time because this one will have 3 chapters, 1, 2, and 3. What are these 1, 2, and 3? Nature, scope, objective of audit, followed by ethics and essay 210, and then followed by audit planning, where you will have standard number 300 and 320. Now the reason why I tell you to start with this is, it is not just about covering something to start or get a flow, but if you see, these are easy aspects. Also gives you something like, okay, I have started something and I've done something well, because they're less complicated in nature. And if you see very clearly as to what the story is, you will also be figuring out that you can just, I'll get back to this, and it's an average of 25 marks. 6, 10, and 9, 25 marks is being covered. It's not fun. Okay, so that is also being taken care of, which is about 25% of your the overall aspect. Though it is for 120, I think we'll stick to that. Now my part 2 is where actually I have to focus a little bit, because this have some interesting aspects in the likes of internal control. Now in this chapter there are totally 4 concepts. Internal control chapter, we have essay 315, essay 330, the concept of audit risk. Now many times we skip concepts like audit risk and internal controls basics. So my order also, though I'm not writing it here, I'm telling you, internal control basics you do first. Whereas what is internal control? Inherent limitation of internal control, that's a straight question in the exam. Followed by all these methods, narrate, record, checklist, that story. And then why should auditor understand internal controls? A question like that will be of a lot of sense. Now once you finish that, then come to the concept of 315, 330. We are covering those standards 315 and 330, along with following up the last topic, audit risk. Audit risk and its relation with various aspects and audit materiality. You can do all of that. Then right after this, I want you to, because this itself is an intense part here, I want you to move to number 6 in the story, which is called as audit documentation. It's a small topic, as you can see here. though it's not of heavy weight, many times only a 3 mark chapter, it also takes that much only time. Okay, 4 pages are there. uh, Sometimes you get lucky with the keeping the audit documentation for 7 years, finishing within 60 days from the completion of the audit, what should be documented, nature and purpose of documentation, very limited. Standard number 230 will get done in no time, so club it along with this, whereby this is a small piece. If you see 8 and 3 only 10 marks, so it's about roughly about 10 to 12%, but it takes a little time because your preparation on the internal control aspects, the more stronger they are, the much better they will be. Now once you are done with this, this is where all the game changes and story enters to part 3. Part 3 is where you are already geared up, the longer time taking part. I want you to straight get into the story of audit evidence. Okay, the heavyweight chapter. Guys, it part 3 will be a little tedious on you, but don't skip the order. You know, the greater conviction. I've always asked those people who have scored above 70, what is your secret? Tell the other students. They are just telling, sir, we followed your pattern. We didn't jump from directly, we didn't go to audit reports and directly, you know, because audit evidence heavyweight, we didn't start that chapter. We followed your flow, and you can trust me on this. Okay. So finish the first two parts as quickly as possible. You spend a lot of time on the part 3. It is part 3, so it should be done later. That's all. Not that part 3 is less important than part 1 and part 2. So your whole strategy is about giving a flow and a conviction. Okay. So if anybody from the past attempts, by chance, if you have heard this video and if you have benefited by that, please do comment below so that it brings trust on the others. Nothing more, right? Audit evidence, completion and review. Okay. And audit report. This piece is the heavyweight. This would be anywhere between, as you can see, that 3 chapters are about 45 marks. Okay. So I would give you all the time because this is anywhere between 40%. If you see here, 18, 13 and 14. So even the average, if you take the total of these 3, that is coming to 45 marks. Only these 3. Okay. So if I have to just slightly shrink in it to let you see that. Yeah, now you can see that it's about only in those spaces there are about 45 marks. So please ensure that this piece comes to the focus very quickly. Sir, can I skip something from part 1 and part 2 and then come here? See, end of the day, choice is yours, strategies are yours, but I would always suggest you go by the order. Okay. And then now once these are all done, we can come to our it's not some miscellaneous category. If you are somebody who is an avid reader, then this part should help you score enough marks, because though you see this has an average weightage of only 30 marks, some of which can be left in choice in the exam, but still once you're done with the rest of the syllabus, go through this chapter called audit in the items of financial statement. It's more like going through, even with various entities you have to read. Now what you have to do here is with banks and automated environment. See, in automated environment, mind you, we didn't cover that, and banks, that should be your first priority. So I'd say after this is done, first do audit of banks, then automated environment, and then you can always come to the last 25 marks, because there is some element of choice. Now of these 17 marks also, if you see, I'll tell you why the weightage went to 17 marks for completion. You see 4 marks of MCQs here, 2 marks of MCQs here, and 10 marks of MCQs in the pre-attempt. That is the reason that went out, and that 10 marks of MCQs will always not come. So that is one odd attempt. So that is why you need not break your head saying 17 marks. No, in my opinion, the average be around 12 marks normally. This was one odd attempt where 10 marks came from the MCQs, so it looked like that. Otherwise, 5 MCQs of 2 marks generally will not come from that chapter. Okay. So you can always keep those 2 chapters, that is various entities. Okay. And this one, items of financial statements, to the end. Okay. My marathon also covers the first 3 parts thoroughly. Fourth part, we haven't done a marathon. So what I'm planning is, maybe this time I would like to add up a quick reviews of bank audit, automated environments, and some tips and techniques for various entities, and attach the existing marathon and release it, or release the existing marathon first, which is already there. You guys can do it. I will leave the link in description of this video, and then I think it should be helpful for the part 2 of the marathon should be these chapters, because which we didn't cover in the past. We should be able to do that. You can obviously take screenshot of the weightage and all of that, but like I said, I don't really suggest that you really want to do that. If you want to, I can leave this on screen for a minute so that you can take a screenshot of all this. All right, guys. So that's it. I would want to cap my videos to 15 minutes on these aspects, and I hope this video has helped you. If it did help, please leave a message below. That is not for me to have conviction, that is for even others to see that, okay, there is something sensible in this video that they can watch. Right? Nowadays, it's more the game of algorithm. So, if a larger audience has to watch something good and beneficial for them, you got to do this, right? So on that note, please do let your friends know. CA is a course like that where you can do it together by sharing good content with your friends. All right, on that note, all the inter students, I will see you in my next video with the same kind of an analysis for strategic management, which will be again a shorter one with a lot of detail in that. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you. Bye bye.